Nearly every member of the ASU community handles some form of university information on a daily basis. Much of the information we use involves the personally identifiable information of students, prospective students, and other members of our community entrusted to us in order to conduct core university activities like teaching, learning, and research. A folder of nearly 773 million email addresses and over 21 million passwords from across the internet was recently discovered as part of a massive private sector credential leak. This could lead to further personal identity theft of those individuals affected. The impact of this kind of information falling into the wrong hands can be incredibly disruptive and potentially devastating. As we continue to develop new information systems to support an increasingly global ASU, it's vital we take the necessary steps to ensure protection of the data we collect, store, use, and share. Knowing how to handle data securely begins with understanding its classification. ASU's 4 data classification levels are public, internal, sensitive, and highly sensitive. Public data is meant to be shared with the public, such as ASU's website or press releases. Internal data is intended for authorized users, generally within the university, such as releasable directory information or budget details. Sensitive data is restricted to limited use within ASU. Examples include intellectual property, details of research proposals and protocols, and information governed under regulations such as FERPA, HIPAA, and GDPR. Highly sensitive data is controlled on a strict need-to-know basis within the university. Examples include defense or classified research, active legal disputes, and information that directly affects health and safety. Data classification affects how and where you store it, how and to whom you can disclose it, what collaborative tools you can use with it, and how and when you should dispose of it. ASU's Sensitive Data Handling Standard and Data Handling Matrix provide detailed information on these topics. Be sure to visit getprotected.asu.edu to review in detail any time you need to determine appropriate storage and collaboration options, whether on campus or in the cloud. Your unit's IT desk side support team can also answer specific questions about these options. As you handle sensitive data, here are some general guidelines. The first rule is to keep only what you need to get the job done. If you don't need it, delete it. Or better yet, don't store it in the first place. Before you return or decommission a computer, personal device, server, or media work within your IT desk side support team to ensure that you remove all traces of sensitive information. The second rule for storing information or accessing it from any one of your electronic devices is to have a clear understanding of what you can store and where you can store it. Store sensitive information only on enterprise storage systems approved for sensitive data, not on your own computer, and never on personal devices or media. This applies not only to your desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile devices, but also any external hard drives and USB or thumb drives. Even ASU-issued external hard drives and thumb drives should be considered as last resort options, as they can be stolen, lost, or fail, putting at risk any sensitive data stored within them. Use ASU enterprise tools, such as university instances of Dropbox and Google Drive, to store your data, back it up, and collaborate with others. The personal accounts offered by some of the same services do not offer the same level of enterprise security. All ASU-related files must remain in ASU's enterprise storage solutions. Third, access data from a device with appropriate protective measures enabled, including encryption. In the unlikely event that portable storage or removable media is necessary, use only an ASU-issued device and make sure it is encrypted and password protected. Fourth, share information carefully. Share using one of ASU's enterprise tools and send a link instead of sending sensitive information, such as an attachment in an email or other communication platforms. Use the principle of least privilege. Least privilege is allowing only enough access to perform the required job and function. In adhering to the principle of least privilege reduces risk of attackers gaining access to critical systems or sensitive data by compromising a low-level user account, device, or application. ASU has technology in place to provide helpful reminders when sensitive data is detected in an outgoing email, for example, allowing you a chance to review and make the right choice. Avoiding mistakes can be costly. Lastly, privacy matters. Privacy is increasingly important. If your role at ASU requires you to request or collect personal data, it's essential that you know the local, national, and international laws and regulations that apply. This is true as we develop systems internally or contract with third-party vendors and service providers. Examples of these regulations include FERPA, HIPAA, PCI DSS, state privacy laws, and the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. ASU incorporates privacy by design and default, which requires appropriate measures to protect personal data and the subject's right to control the use of that data. Examples of such measures include data minimization, limiting that data collected to only what you need, remove personally identifiable information by data aggregation, anonymization, or other means, security storage by data tokenization or masking, restrictions against sharing data with third parties without a lawful reason or the subject's express consent. How could you improve privacy? Please refer to these 4 elements. Visit the Get Protected site for additional privacy information and support at ASU.